Hey everyone, this is just a quick little video on how to make the Xbox controller buttons or triggers work as buttons rather than axes in DCS. I've seen on the DCS forums that there are some programs out there. One's called Xpatter, but that costs $10, and you could rebind um, basically the axes to buttons. What I'm doing is using one called JoyToKey. So you just Google JoyToKey, download it from their website. It's a quick install. Then once you get it launched and installed, you'll start off with the default profile. You can, rename it or make a new one, whatever. I just have the one for the Xbox. The first thing you'll do, make sure your controller's on. But go over to options here, and by default, this is going to show, I believe this, and with that selected, you don't see all of your options, and especially the ones I'm trying to mess with, which are the triggers. So you'll go and select Show All. Then when you go back to your joystick, you'll see you'll see left trigger, right trigger. So I just tested this with the hind at first. So I bound fire and the hind to right trigger. So you double click that, and then with right alt, it seemed like I had to add it through right clicking and then selecting it. With spacebar, it just let me hit spacebar. So you just hit those two, and you're okay. The last thing you'll have to do is you'll associate the profile with the application. Now, I don't know if this is 100% necessary, but it's easy enough to do. What you can do is you can launch DCS, and then once DCS is loaded up, you just come back to this program and you'll click this button right here. And it'll basically fill out all the information you need in these boxes other than the associated profile. Um, Otherwise, you could basically just copy how I have this typed out. And then you'll save it. So here's what my current one looks like. It just goes to the DCS.exe. I don't know how important all of this is to be named correctly other than this, but this was all captured using this button here. And then you'll click OK, and you're pretty much all set. So I'm ultimately probably only going to end up using this for right trigger and left trigger for whatever the Apache TEDAC is using to fire weapons and then fire laser. There's a lot of good templates that people have made out there, but most of them that I've seen are using, like the file buttons or the list buttons, whatever those are on the front side of the controller to fire. And I really wanted to use the triggers as triggers. So I hope everyone's pumped for the Apache, and hopefully this helps a few people out that are experiencing the same problems.